back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the one and done tag. So this tag, I feel like I've seen a ton of people do it, and I can't remember who the first one I saw do it was or who started it. But I will try to link as many people as I can down below that I've seen do it, and I'll try to figure out who started the tag and leave that either on the screen or down below as well. But essentially this tag is if you had to pick one makeup product in each category to use for the rest of your life, which one would it be? And this is kind of different than like your all-time favorites, because like I have a lot of like favorite products that I wouldn't want to use every single day. You know what I mean? Like some of my most loved products are not ones that I would pick out to go to work. So if you could only have one product and that was the only thing you could wear every day, it might not be your favorite product, but it would be a product that is reliable or that you can kind of build up or build down. These are products that I would wear every single day. So again, I have them in my little box, and I think that I got something from every category. I'm not sure, but I'm actually wearing every single item on my face now. So I should have every category because I just kind of like put it on my face and then put it in the box. So I'm going to go in the order of how I applied things to my face today. And that means starting with eyeshadow. So normally I don't start with my eyeshadow, but today, because I didn't really know like what I was going to do, I did. And the eyeshadow palette that I used today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam Palette. Now I know that this is a new palette. It's new to me. I've had it for probably about a month. I ordered it the day that it dropped on Sephora. So I've had it for about a month, and I've been using it a ton since then. And it's such a usable, wearable palette. I mean, like, you could just throw like orange soda or burnt orange in the crease and one of these kind of more neutral shimmers on the lid, and you're good to go. That would be like my everyday going to work look. But it also has a black in here, which most palettes don't have. It has a really nice setting shade. If I could only use these eyeshadows every single day, I feel like I could make so many different looks. I could go dark and smoky, or I could do light and everyday and really natural, just a matte look with a whole bunch of browns. Like I feel like I could use this palette for every type of look I could ever want, and it would be perfect. These shadows are pigmented, so you can really build them up and get a lot of intensity. The shimmers are incredible. You can make them more intense by using a wet brush. This palette is so versatile, and that's what I think this tag means. Like, you want to find your products that are versatile, that you can use for every look that you would want ever. You know what I mean? And I feel like this palette is that. For today's look, I put orange soda as my transition, burnt orange in the crease, and then I deepened the crease up with some rustic, threw some of this noir in the outer corner, and then on my lid is rose pink. And it's just a beautiful look, and this isn't too intense, and I didn't even use the darkest shades, you know what I mean? So it can go so much darker than this and so much lighter than this, and I love this palette so much. I'd be cool with using it every day. So moving on from there, the next thing that I did was eyebrows. If you have been on my channel for a little bit, if you've watched pretty much any of my videos, this won't be a surprise, but the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer would be my go-to brow product. It's the perfect shade. It's so easy to apply. I feel like with a pencil, you can kind of go light or dark. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of really do an intense brow. You could really fill it in. Or you can just kind of do brow-like strokes and make it really fluffy. If I could only have one brow product, it would definitely be this, because I feel like this is the most versatile. It's cheap, so if I could only buy this again, like, I'd be cool with spending like what, $7 to $12 on this. So not much more to say. That would be for the eyebrows. But the primer and the foundation that I would use are these two. And my reasoning behind this, I mean, this was going to be my foundation pretty much no matter what, because it's a nice medium coverage foundation. So I could kind of sheer it out and I could wear it with like lighter makeup and it would look really natural and really everyday. Or you can build it up and kind of pack on the makeup on top of it, and it's gonna be a very glam foundation. It lasts really well on my skin, it never gets greasy, and it just looks beautiful to me. So I knew that this was gonna be my foundation, so when I was picking the primer, I know that this primer works perfectly with this foundation. It keeps me matte, it keeps my skin looking flawless, So the reason I picked this primer in particular is because it goes really well with the foundation, and if I could only ever wear this foundation, I would want the primer that goes with it and makes it even better. So that's the reasoning behind picking this primer. But also, like, I might have picked it even if I didn't pick this foundation, because it does keep me so matte. It makes my skin smooth and keeps my foundation on for a really long time. So I might have picked this primer anyways, but because this was my foundation and these are a match made in heaven, I picked this primer. But it's really good. So far, all of these products have been products that I would consider favorites. That's my favorite foundation, my favorite eyeshadow palette of the moment, my favorite brow product. This next product coming up, I wouldn't call my absolute favorite, but it is the most versatile. So the concealer that I picked that I think is the one that I would pick if I could only have one, and it was between this and the NARS Creamy Matte Full, whatever it's called, the NARS Creamy Matte Concealer. But I picked this one. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. The reason that I picked this is because this concealer looks beautiful with a full face of makeup. I have it on today, obviously. It blends out really nicely. It covers everything that I need, and if I need more coverage, I can just put the foundation under my eyes as well and use this as like a brightening product. But also, this looks beautiful on its own without foundation, just kind of like for a no foundation look, you know what I mean? Like just kind of under the eyes and in the places that I need a little bit more coverage and blend it out. This is beautiful for that as well. So I wanted a concealer that could do both, you know? And I think that this concealer does it. I love applying it. It's so comfortable to apply, I mean, besides the burning, but it blends out beautifully. It lasts really well, and it's drugstore, so I could repurchase this and not feel bad about it. So this one's not my, I mean, I love this concealer. It's one of my favorites, but if I had to pick my favorite concealer, it wouldn't be this one, but this is what I picked if I could only have one for the rest of forever. Setting powder, you guys are not going to be surprised. It's the best setting powder. It keeps me matte. It keeps my foundation on all day long. It has a little bit of a tint, so it's brightening, but it doesn't change the color of my foundation. It's super lightweight. It never makes my skin feel heavy and cakey. I almost picked the Coty Airspun, but sometimes that makes me feel dry and like heavy and like I have a lot of product on my face, and this one never does that. And if I could only have one loose setting powder for the rest of forever, it would be this one. But I kind of cheated here, because I also put in a what is this called? A powder foundation. I also put in a powder foundation, which is probably cheating, but I feel like this is a different product. This is newer to me too. And kind of using a powder foundation is newer to me, but if I could only have one like pressed setting powder, it would be a powder foundation. And the one that I would pick right now is MAC Fix Plus. And the reason for that, MAC Fix Plus, really, MAC Studio Fix, the shade that I have now is C35. I probably want to get like an NC30, 35, just because this is a little bit too yellow for me and I want something just a little bit more neutral. This kind of darkens up a little bit, so maybe I just need to go lighter. I'm off topic. The reason that I picked this is because if I want a no makeup day, my skin is too flawed, not flawed, but I have freckles and I have redness, so if I just put concealer under my eyes and go, you'll see a line where the concealer stops and everything down here is like, just doesn't look as good. And for those days, just throwing a powder foundation on top of those areas where there's not concealer totally kind of makes everything look more color corrected, more flawless, and kind of makes the rest of my face match where the concealer is. And so I couldn't not include one of these. And so I figure a pressed powder is different than a loose powder, and so my pressed powder would be MAC Studio Fix Foundation. Bronzer, I mean the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer would have to be my pick because it is so versatile. It is the perfect shade where like it kind of chisels out your cheekbones and kind of adds some shadow. Again, I'm wearing all of these. I'm wearing this on my face today. I feel like it adds dimension to your face, but it also kind of warms it up, makes you look kind of more sun-kissed and more bronzy, obviously, and glowy, but you can still use it to contour. So if I could only pick one like contour or bronzer shade, this would be it. It applies flawlessly, it wears, it lasts really well on the skin, it's inexpensive. I mean, we all know butter bronzer. Honestly, I would not be surprised if this was in a ton of people's versions of this video because it is just that versatile. It is the bronzer that you can use if you don't know what bronzer to use. It can go on a more natural look and just kind of lightly make everything more bronzy. You can really kind of darken it up and make your face look a little bit more chiseled. It's so good. Not my favorite bronzer ever. It's one of them. But if I had to pick my favorite bronzer, it would be something that probably has a little bit more glow to it. But I wouldn't want that every single day. You know, if I want a more natural look or if I want really chiseled look, I don't want something that has a glow to it. I want something matte. And so that's why I picked this. I wouldn't consider myself having a favorite blush. I love shimmery blushes, but again, that's not what I would want every day. If I'm going to work, I don't want shimmer all over my face. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I want most other days. But if I want just like an everyday makeup look, that's not what I'm going for. So I wanted to pick something that was matte and something that was neutral, that would go with every eye look, that I could tone up, that I could tone down. And for me, that is the Tarte Sensual Blush. I have it on my face today, but I have another one mixed in because I was between two. The other one was a little bit more pink, but I just decided that if I'm going to only wear one blush, I want it to be neutral. I want it to be something that adds a little bit of color to my cheeks, something a little bit more pink and a little bit flushed, but not something that's going to take over the rest of my face, not something that's going to be super obvious. And for me, this is that blush. It lasts really well. It's super pigmented, but it blends out and it doesn't look like crazy and pigmented on the cheeks. And so this would be the blush that I would pick because I could wear this every day with every look, and I don't think it would ever clash or look crazy. Oh, I forgot eyeliner. For me, I had to choose, I mean, obviously, between a liquid and a pencil, I'm not going to choose a liquid. I don't want to wear liquid liner every day, and I really don't care if I can never wear a wing because I don't prefer. I wanted a black pencil liner that I could put on my waterline because that is what makes me feel the most me, is having black liner all around my eyes. I know a lot of people think it's like old school and a lot of people don't like the look of it. For me, that is what makes me feel the most beautiful, when my eyes are really outlined and defined. I feel like my eyes can kind of disappear into my face. And so because of that, I like to have a liner on them. And my favorite black liner for the waterline is the Maybelline Master Precise Super Skinny, because it is so small and it gets in there and it really just makes lining my waterline so easy, and it lasts forever. And so if I could only have one, it would be a black liner to line my waterline. I chose a cream and a powder highlighter. Now this might be cheating, and if I could only have one, it would be the powder one, but I wanted to include the cream one because I wear a cream highlighter most days. I think that it makes a big difference in the intensity and the wear time of your highlighter, and I think that for an everyday look, a lot of times just a cream highlighter is beautiful. Even if you have no makeup on, putting a cream highlighter on your face in those high points can make you look way more glowy, obviously. So my cream highlighter of choice would be the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. I know they're coming out with more shades of this, but I still think that Kitten is the best for me. It's a beautiful champagne. It's super metallic and wet looking. So good. And if you layer this under a powder highlighter, it's going to make it pop. So I have both of these on my face today. And that's why the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, which is my other choice, looks way more intense than normal. And the reason that I chose the Essence highlighter is because it's super natural. Like, it's just the most, like, subtle but glowing from within highlighter. But when you build it up or when you layer it over a cream highlighter, it can be really intense and beautiful, but you can also tone it down and wear it as more natural. And so, again, not my all-time favorite highlighter, it's one of them, but like if I had to pick one that I use the most often, well, it probably would be this. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like my most amazing, intense, crazy, like mind-blowing highlighter, but I probably could wear this every single day with every single look, and I would feel totally confident that I don't need anything else, especially if I have this cream highlighter to put it on top of for a more intense look. I just feel like I could do everything with these two highlighters, and I love the way they look, especially together. Let's go back to the eyes quickly. So the mascara that I would have if I could have one mascara for the rest of my life, for every day, I forgot to grab it, and I don't want to get up and ruin the settings on my camera, but the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. And the reason that I picked that is because you can build it up and make it very intense, and it makes your lashes look beautiful. I love the way it looks on my lashes, But if you just put on one coat, it's perfect for every day. Your lashes aren't going to be clumpy, they're not going to be spidery, they're not going to be super dramatic. It's a more wearable mascara. You know, I thought about picking Lash Paradise. I thought about, you know, Too Faced Better Than Sex, but those are mascaras that I don't want to wear those every day. I don't want my lashes to look that crazy and done up every day. Does that make sense? So for me, L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara is the perfect in-between where I can make it work for every day. It makes my lashes look really good, but then I can also build it up and add a couple layers and pump it up for like a more intense look. And then for the face, Urban Decay All Nighter for the face. For the setting spray, Urban Decay All Nighter. It makes my makeup last a lot longer. You could use it to wet your brushes. You could use it for everything. But for me, a setting spray makes my makeup last, and this does that. So that's, I mean, that was simple. And then for lip products, again, I kind of cheated. But I picked lipstick, liquid lipstick, and a lip gloss. So starting with the lipstick, I kind of couldn't choose between these two because they're kind of the same thing, just one is drugstore and one is not. The Bare Minerals Gen Nude Lipstick in Honey Bun and the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine Lipstick in Glossy Fawn are very similar formulas to me. The Gen Nude one is what I have on my lips now. Let me hold on. These lipsticks are pigmented, but at the same time, they feel hydrating. They feel comfortable. They're glossy. You're not going to have to worry about them all the time. They're beautiful nudes that are going to go with almost every look, and that you can reapply them. You can take them with you and throw them in your bag. Let me show you how similar these are. I don't know if you can see. The color is a little bit different. The L'Oreal one is a little bit more warm and peachy, and the Gen Nude one is just a little bit more brown. So we've got Bare Minerals here and L'Oreal here. But the formula is like spot on. They're both pigmented, super pigmented, but they're also creamy and comfortable. And if I could only have one lipstick, I want it to be something that I feel good wearing, that makes me feel like my lips are comfortable. And it's a beautiful nude, and both of these work for that. I honestly couldn't decide between these two. This one I've had for longer, and I've used it on an everyday basis and really loved it. This one I haven't had quite as long, so I didn't pick it, but I mean, they're both awesome. The lip gloss that I picked was the Buxom, and the reason for this is because these lip glosses have pigment to them, so you can wear these by themselves and you're not going to feel like you have a clear gloss on top of just your regular lips. They have a little bit of plumping. They feel really, you know, tingly and moisturizing, and they make your lips look beautiful. I mean, may as well throw some on right now, right? And this is in the shade White Russian. I feel like I would either keep this shade or Dolly, but probably this one. I just love it. No makeup on, and I'm running out of the house. I would feel totally comfortable wearing that lip gloss. And if I had a full face glam look going on and I had something crazy, I would still feel comfortable wearing that lip gloss. And then the liquid lipstick that I chose is the Marc Jacobs Le Marc Liquid Lip Cream in Fawn Over Me. And the reason that I chose this, again, it's a beautiful neutral shade. It goes with every look. I feel like I could wear this all the time and it would look good. But it's also comfortable. It dries down matte. It's very long lasting, but you don't feel like you have a drying, cakey liquid lipstick on. And yes, it's more expensive. I wouldn't want to repurchase this for the rest of my life, but I would, because if I had to choose a liquid lipstick, and there's definitely times where I want a liquid lipstick, this is amazing. It touches up beautifully. You can just add another layer on top of it. It doesn't get crumbly. It doesn't cake off. It wears away beautifully. But it is matte and it is long lasting and it's not going to transfer a lot, and so this would be my choice. I think these are totally worth the money. And then lastly, I just wanted to throw perfume in here because I think for me perfume is kind of like makeup. It's in the same category for me, and the one that I would choose if I could only have one would be Elizabeth & James Nirvana Bourbon. This is not something that I would want to wear every day, but I also don't feel like I need to wear perfume every day. There's a lot of times where like deodorant is cool with me, maybe a lotion that has a little scent to it. But if I want to put on perfume, most of the time I want to be a little sexy, a little dark. I'm going out on a date. Nirvana Bourbon for me is that, but it's also not, it's not so dark that you can't wear it during the day, that you can't wear it in the summer. You know, it's It's sweet and musky, and so I feel like because of that, it just kind of works all the time. And I love this smell, and Jay loves this smell. And if I could only have one, it would definitely be this. But this is my favorite. Like, this is my favorite perfume of all time. But I could also wear this every day and never get sick of it. So that is my perfume. So those are all of the products that I would choose if I could only have one. So if I could only have one from each category, those are the ones that I would pick. That is what I would be totally okay with wearing every single day, and that is what I'm wearing on my face today. So if you like this look, if you like what I said about these products and you've never tried any of them, I highly recommend them. Even the foundation, you guys, I have heard that dry skin people like it too. That never happens. So I highly recommend all of these products, and I would love for you guys to comment down below what products you would choose from any category if you could only have one, because I'm curious. I want to know what other people's favorites are. You know, what are those products that you could use every single day and never be upset about it? These are mine. Let me know down below what yours are. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see all of my future videos. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.